And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SmiteTalk. My name is Octane Pro, and joining me, as always, is the handsome, the beautiful. We have FG3000. How's it going, stud?
Wow, what an intro,
Woo!
man!
That's right.
Take that.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I've missed you. I've missed you.
I'm looking at my screen, and I am shorter than you. Bring me up a little bit.
That's right. No, let's make this realistic. All right, my hair gives me like 3 inches, so come on now. You know this little like thing going on here. Yeah.
The swoop, man. The swoop.
That's right. The swoop with
and I want pro gamers in my background.
That's right. See, I always what is over here? I always have Barracuda right over my shoulder. He's right here.
Nice.
Yeah. So outside that, guys, welcome to Smite Talk. This show usually used to be weekly, but with everything going on Smite game, it just hasn't worked out the greatest. So it's been very stagnant, on a hiatus a little bit, but we're back. Found a great little slot here to jump in today. If you guys aren't familiar, Smite Talk is a show which is very similar to a traditional radio show, where myself and FG just get up on here, talk about Smite, talk about a variety of different topics, but we leave almost like a line open, kind of like a radio show. So as you can see directly below my portrait, it says call in right now using Raid Call, and it has a group ID. So go to raidcall.com, download the program. Once you create your account, at the very top, there's like a search box, and you can just search using that group ID, 7461039. And just call in and talk about anything. If there's something bothering you about Smite, there's something you're loving about Smite, if you're excited about something coming up, go ahead and call in. We have an administrator in Raid Call that will go ahead and make sure you got your audio set up and all that fun stuff, pop you in the right channel and the right list, and then you can come on and enjoy us and talk about a variety of different things. Also, if you do not have the means to go ahead and call in, which I hope you do, email us. We'll be taking emails towards the end of the show, SmiteTalk@gmail.com. So check it out. So just to make sure that FG does get to talk during the show a tiny bit, let's go.
I'll make myself known.
Let's go around the panel here. And what have you been up to the last few weeks with Smite? What have you been focusing on? Stuff like that.
That's a pretty short panel. It's just me. It's
and
not
me.
Really like a panel of
and
anybody.
Me. And me.
I guess.
I was gonna say table, but it's not really a table because it's
No, it's 2 digital screens.
That's right.
Man, I haven't been taking a break from Smite. I have been dividing my time with Smite and other games, just because the holidays come out, all these new games come out. You have Wild Stage, you have Dragon Age, you have Shadows of Mordor. All of them went on sale for Steam sales, so I've been literally all over the place. But I did get a chance to play a Wheelix a little bit. And of course, I play Nijai anytime I get a chance. So. Always.
Hey, chat. Don't tell FG, but I played Nijai support the other day. Just want to put it out there.
Nice! Did you record it? Is it going on YouTube?
It may. Just want to put it out there.
I will thumb up that video. I will go to that video and click like.
My credibility on this show just went down the drain. Whee!
Skyrocketed.
Well, awesome. So you've been playing a little bit of everything that it sounds like recently. Awesome.
Yeah, just to knock out those holidays. During the summer, I played nothing but Smite.
Yeah.
And now, I haven't given up Smite. I still log in a lot. Like I said, I had to check out a Wheelix because a year ago, on my Smite Meta Casual News, not a year ago, it was probably like 8 months ago, I begged for a mounted god. And as soon as I saw
whatever.
I did. I was like, wait, who did I want mounted? I think I wanted Serket. I wanted Serket mounted.
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd be cool if she rode a Scorpion or something like that. Didn't happen, but I'll take a Wheelix. She's actually really, really cool. So
yeah,
good stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely. We'll jump into that parts of the way through the show today.
We shall.
So I think for me, I'm trying to think. I've been playing a decent amount of Smite here and there. I was sick for about a week, so I wasn't streaming or anything like that. Outside of that, I've been really enjoying Smite. Things have been going well. Trying to think. I got a green screen, so that's what we got set up here. So
I see that.
It's pretty cool. I show off. I post. Don't be jealous, dude. All right. I
am a little bit.
I'll post it in chat. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way it turned out, and so that's kind of something a little bit different. Always exciting for myself. I've actually been playing a decent amount of Smite, and then also a little bit of Titanfall. Titanfall is kind of that game that kind of falls between the tracks a little bit, and yeah, so I've been playing a decent amount of that. you know, just off to the side, like when I don't really have time or when I'm waiting for like queue, I'll just go ahead and pop it up and play a little bit. So I've been enjoying that. But this show's not about Titanfall. This show's about Smite.
It sure isn't.
So let's go ahead and talk about Smite here. And, you know, our first topic for tonight, guys, is going to be the Smite World Championship coming up in a few weeks. And, you know, we got a lot to talk about regarding it. We're going to talk about Xbox One. We're going to talk about the Apollo skin, the schedule, you know, a little bit here and there. And the brackets, of course. The brackets have been huge all over the place on Reddit, on Twitter, a lot going on there. So, you know, let's talk a little bit about SWC. When are you planning on going down? When are you know, what's your kind of plans revolving around that? You flying, you driving? How's that working out for you?
Oh, definitely flying.
Okay.
I will not be driving from Texas. Dropping in on the 8th of January and leaving on like the 12th morning. Okay. So I'll get in, you know, a day early, then I'll leave a day late.
Yeah.
But looking forward to it, man. If it's anything like it was last year, which I'm sure it's going to be everything it was times 2, it's going to be an absolute blast. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited because the fact of like the crowd is going to be like, I don't know what the
massive.
Like just the numbers. Like I forget how much the Cobb and it was where was it at last time? It was what was that facility called? Forgetting the name of it.
It was like a.
We were there. We don't even know. Either way, it's supposed to be much larger. So I'm really excited because like there was Smite gamers everywhere in Atlanta during that time period, and now it's going to be even larger. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be going down the 8th as well. I'm going to be driving. It's about 10 hours. I'm splitting it with 2 other people as well. So it won't be too bad. We're going to leave Pennsylvania right up towards Harrisburg around like 5:30 in the morning. And that'll put us in Atlanta early enough to grab dinner with FG3000. So we are good to go, you know?
That plane was just made right now.
That's right. There we go.
It just was made.
There we go. That's right. People, here's the shout out. People that are in Atlanta on Thursday, hit me up on Twitter. We'll grab dinner and drinks. It'll happen. It'll happen. So, yeah, it should be pretty cool. Down. So I'll be in Atlanta from Thursday until Monday. Should be a lot of fun. As of right now, I'm just kind of going as a spectator. Got my tickets the other day, so that's exciting. You like flaunted yours in my face the other week, so
I did not.
Yes, you did. You're like, did you text me or did you send me an email? You're like, I got him, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I didn't get him yet.
No, I didn't do that. I was very tact. I was like, so did you get an email or? I didn't flaunt them.
I got 3 of them, so I'm good to go. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so that worked out well. So, yeah.
Why do you have 3? Who else are you bringing?
I have 2 friends.
Your green screen?
My green screen. The 2 friends that I'm coming along with.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
We all need to be friends with Octane. That's what we need to know right now.
Octane
will pay your way
to
Smite World Championship.
So, should be exciting. You know, really excited to see those of you guys that are going to SWC, you know, feel free to call in. You know, let's talk about it a little bit. Talk about your thoughts on it, stuff like that. You know, what you're excited about. If you want to launch, it'd be great to hear kind of a comparison of what you've seen. But yeah, I mean, we're super excited for SWC coming up here. It's unreal to think that it's like 2 weeks away. Like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
they did it really. Last year was in March, wasn't it? It was in March last year.
I felt like the launch tournament was like farther away. Like, I don't know if it sounds realistic, but it just felt like it was always farther away. But this one, I feel like it's caught up quick. And maybe it's the time of year and
around the corner.
How busy everyone is. So, people wondering.
Yeah, because you have like a bunch of days off, and it gets like the time goes by a lot faster than normal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working Monday, Tuesday this week, and then I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then the following week, I'm out of town for 3 days for business. So, I only have 2 days in the office. And then, bam, the following week, we're ready for SWC. So.
Then it's time to roll.
Yeah. So let's jump on our second topic here. Xbox One was announced, the Smite version, alpha actually at SWC. What are your thoughts about that? We haven't actually talked about it being at SWC yet.
Yeah, I actually was. Once again, I'm gonna harken back to Smite Meta Casual News. You can check it out on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/fitnessgamer3000. But I did make a prediction, which was actually, it was wrong. I said people will be able to play a build of this by December, and I was wrong. It's January, so I'll play a little bit, but I'm still feeling pretty good about it. I'm looking forward to seeing how, like, I already know the game works on Xbox controller. I played it on Xbox controller on the PC. I know it's going to work. Xbox One can handle the graphics of Smite with no problem. It should be fine. But I'm really curious to see how the VGS works, because I know there was some Twitter posts, I don't know, maybe it was like 3 or 4 months ago, that Hi-Rez Chris put out saying, does anyone have, any ideas, or what type of control schemes would seem more comfortable for VGS? So I'm really curious to see what they came up with, because that's what made Smite for me. Not, totally, but when I first made that transition from League of Legends to Smite, that VGS was like huge. I'm like, oh my God, all you have to do is VF1 and you can tell people that are, they're missing your lane. That's so huge. And I think if it's missing from the Xbox One, I know it's not going to be. I'm just saying, if it's not really intuitive, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think it needs to be real quick. Like right now for us, it's very quick and easy to use. I'm eager to see how they work that with Xbox One. Also, if they put less VGS commands in, just because of, like, right now the menu is so extensive within Smite, but you can hit those keys.
Save yourself.
Like, you can hit those keys. One of the other things I thought about too with the Xbox One, I was thinking about, was I wonder if they're going to have like a curse voice for Xbox One, so that you could, you have your voice commands. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I didn't buy Xbox One. I bought, all the other previous Xboxes. All came with the headset. Did the Xbox One come with a headset in the box?
I don't know. I don't have an Xbox One. Sure. My plan is to actually purchase one though in the next few months. So, yeah, because like in my basement, the TV that I would play on is like about 15 feet from my computer, so I could set things up ideally to be able to do that. So that'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm thinking about it without a doubt. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people are eager to find out more. So we'll have to see how that works out. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about it. My understanding, I know a decent amount already. I knew that Xbox One was going to be there ahead of time, like that they were going to have it available. From what I've heard, I can't give all the details because I have heard things from behind the scenes, but I do know that there's going to be a substantial area for this. They're not going small. Like, this is going to be big. And I think that's
something that you would see like at a convention.
Yes. And I'm so thrilled about that, because in the past I've seen some Smite setups for when people go to these events where you can play and stuff like that, but nothing substantial. And I always give kudos to like Blizzard in these situations, because when you look at some of their events, they just have like a sea of computers or a sea of Xbox, whatever, set up available for gameplay. So I'm excited because there's going to be a lot of people there, and I'm really happy to see that there'll be kind of a little bit of everything available for people. And I think this is the time. I mean, real time to hype it up, to say the least. But most of the people that will be there will be PC gamers, because they're already, in the door with Smite. So, but I think this is a great first step to start to market it a little bit.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that I've seen, like, through Twitter and Reddit and YouTube. A lot of people that are PC Smite players, but their friends only have an Xbox One and they don't have a computer good enough to run the game. So they're looking forward to kind of playing Xbox One with their friends because they don't have PC. So there's a little bit of a crossover there. So yeah, should be good.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the new market that we get with the Xbox One. And time again, I'm being told, like, on the console it feels even more with a controller, even more like a natural FPS.
What?
And so it just feels, well, you got to think of it. Smite's skill shot based, and you're behind the character, so it very much seems like an FPS right off the back. Like, it's very close to an FPS. I mean, it's a third-person game mixed with an FPS because of the skill shots right off the back. So it fits so perfectly in that Xbox genre that I'm excited for the new market and the new type of players that'll be introduced to it. So. Moving on here as well, we'll be talking a little bit here about Curse Voice and the Apollo skin. Then we're going to take our first call. Also, guys, if you guys do want to call in, go ahead, download RaidCall, raidcall.com. and type in the group ID 7461039 and come join us. Come join us. If you guys have questions in chat, the best way is via email right now, SmiteTalk@gmail.com. Just email us real quick. So, Curse Voice is now offering this Apollo skin. Kind of got leaked a little bit early with some data mining going on and was posted on Reddit. But what do you think of this skin?
It's a pretty cool skin. And, you know I'm kind of like anti voice chat, but the skin itself is fantastic. Like, I really like the way they did it. It's kind of, it's who else better in the game to promote Curse besides Apollo? Yeah. So it looks good.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. It takes some of the other things that we've seen, like with the TSM skin and stuff like that, and kind of plays a little bit off of that. I like the, type of gamer attire, as well as like the headset. I think is kind of neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool looking. I like that he like shoots the Curse logo as well as burns it into the ground, and when he uses his other abilities, you see him kind of fluttering a little bit around. So I'm really happy with it, and it takes no time at all. No time at all to get that Apollo skin. Like, I think it's just 5 games using Curse Force.
Yeah, 5 games.
Which you could do in an afternoon, no problem. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. Make sure you guys...
Unless you're a YouTuber.
That's right. That's right. Like you.
Then you're just screwed.
Serves you right. Serves you right. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our first caller here, Maelstrom, in just a second. And then we'll be bringing on G Long. So, guys, feel free to go ahead and call in. If not, we'll just keep talking. Maelstrom, welcome to Smite Talk. How's it going?
Good.
Good, good. So what do you want to talk about today?
Would it be okay if I ask like 2 questions?
You are more than welcome to. Go for it.
2.5.
Okay, number 1. What do you think on the new game-breaking new meta Bruiser Toast?
I think it's garbage.
You played with it yesterday and he carried.
So he's referring to Thanatos playing as a Bruiser style and getting away with it. That was in an assault setup. Thank you very much. That was
arena.
That was an arena. It's just as bad.
Yeah.
It's just as bad. So what's your real question?
Well, that was like the first real question. Then I have another.
Okay.
Do you think they should make another Vulcan skin? Because I think they should make something like Elementalist, where he's like attuned with the elements.
I think Vulcan the last Vulcan one, was quite a while ago. So
yeah, it was the Tribes one. Was that the last one?
Global Agenda.
Yeah, or Global Agenda. Yeah. Well, there's that. Remember that big list of skins that they were supposed to come out with? I know it's not the elemental style, but that one where it's kind of like steampunk.
Yeah,
it's probably still on the list somewhere, I would anticipate. So I would think that's probably the next skin for Vulcan if he gets one.
Yeah, he seems long overdue. He seems long overdue for one, to be honest with you.
He might need just an overhaul.
Because I legit just got him Diamond.
Overhaul as in graphically, I hope you're saying, because Vulcan's disgusting.
Like
I was gonna say Vulcan's disgusting still. So I was like, what are you talking about?
No. Talk about his model. He's out of like 3 colors.
Okay.
He's about 2 or 3 colors. So he's an older design guy, and he's probably due for a remodel coming. I know that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about new skins, but it might be a reason why they're not really looking at skins, because they might be looking at redoing his model.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Well, what they could, if they did do like Elementalist, they would have like all the element colors.
Kind of like earth, fire, wind, that kind of thing, water.
Like, I was thinking like they could have something like strapped onto his chest that's like air, and he pushes it forward and then goes back. Then his 2 is he summons a flame elemental, and then he has a water bomb for his 3, and then he throws a chunk of earth for his ult.
So basically, World of Warcraft shamans.
That's right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you said it. You said it.
Hey, I didn't talk about WoW until that happened. I had to.
That's okay. I like it. Oh, it's a cool idea, Maelstrom. That's always a cool one. I like that, actually, believe it or not. Anything else you want to talk about today?
No, that was it.
All right, man.
Dude, you got 2.5 questions. Where's the half?
I know, right?
I never said 2.5.
That's right.
Man.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in G Long.
That's nice.
I know.
like
it. G Long, welcome to Smite Talk. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Doing good. So, what do you want to talk about tonight?
I have had a lasting problem with the what is it called? The authentication and update service, and I searched it up, and I searched it up, and I noticed that quite a bit of people have had this problem, but it doesn't seeming to be addressed.
Is it is your issue like when an update or something comes out, then like it doesn't update completely or properly for you, or doesn't see that there's an update, or it just doesn't allow you onto Smite regardless?
What I did was originally it stopped working.
Okay.
And I uninstalled it to because uninstall it and reinstall it, and that normally fixes it.
Yep.
But as I went to go reinstall it, it wouldn't work. The authentication thing wouldn't work at all.
Well, didn't you know it doesn't work on a Mac? Come on now, dude. I mean, jeez.
I'm on the Windows 8.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So have you opened a support ticket yet?
I have. I've updated not updated, but opened 3 of them.
And you've heard nothing from Hi-Rez yet?
I have gotten 1, and it takes about 5 to 6 hours maybe for the other 2 yet.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
yeah.
That's the only avenue as of this time that I know. I guess my other question is, have you now I hate to ask you to do this, but have you formatted your computer yet?
Wow.
Formatted
as in wiped it clean and reinstalled your operating system.
That sounds like a lot of really long.
It really isn't, but you also have to be comfortable doing it, because that's pretty much your next step. If you unfortunately can't wait, I would look into it. It's not too difficult. You just pop in the CD that your computer came with, follow the instructions, and make sure you back everything up. But yeah, I mean, if you're not super comfortable with it, I guess I probably won't recommend it, but that's pretty much your next step. Like, if you do that and then reinstall Smite, I bet you it'll work. To be honest with you,
can't not work.
I'll probably.
That's
give it
right.
A try.
I would give it a try. To be honest with you, that would be my first thing. Like, if you're having trouble getting answers, that would be my next, my next recommendation outside of opening a support ticket, which it sounds like you have 3 times. So, outside of struggles with that, what else you want to talk about tonight?
The new god Sylvanas. I've seen a lot of gameplay with him.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
I think he's probably one of the best Guardians. What's your opinion on him?
FG, I'll let you take this one first.
Good old Sylvanas. He's solid. I mean, he's really, really solid. I mean, he's probably the most unique Guardian in the game that we have when it comes to his targeter, AoE heals, pretty solid pull, even though it's a little slow, in my opinion. Great knockup. I mean, he has everything you would kind of want in a Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I say he's kind of weak on, he doesn't have like an Athena in Engage, but if you throw Blink on him, if you can kind of get away with throwing maybe Weakening Curse on your solo lane and have him run Hog and Blink, he's great. Like, there's
I always like playing him. I think more recently I actually played in a 3v3 tournament, Smite Central's 3v3 tournament, and played him in one of our matches and had a blast. He's so good, especially in that small comp of just like 3-on-3. He's very good. The healing is amazing. The root is outstanding. His pull is great. I still have a little bit of trouble of gauging the distance of the pull from time to time. I think it's the color of the indicator.
Yeah.
But because it's like that weird transparent light gray look. It really could be something a little different, but regardless, once you get it down, I mean, his abilities combo so well together. If you could get a pull off and then throw the root down on them, or if you root them first, then do the pull, then do your ultimate, I mean, your team can just collapse. It's amazing. And the mana kind of buff that you get, almost, I guess you could say, the regen that you get from his first ability with, like right now with the Christmas tree. If you use the Christmas
with the Christmas tree,
with the Christmas skin,
it's
not huge, but it's a little helpful. It's something, especially in like when I was playing 3v3, everything's so focused. So there's multiple times where there's 3 of these at least in a lane. So it works out super, super well. So I'm very happy with him. He needed the adjustments. After that first real tweak to him.
When he first came out?
Yeah, definitely necessary. He was a little too good. But where he's at now, I'm really pleased with.
Yeah. I guess that's all I have for today.
Well, excellent. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Yep. Have a nice night.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Sylvanas. My only issue with Sylvanas is that I play so much Nija, and our Armillary Sash and his pull, even though they look the same, they're straight line, but Nija's longer and it's faster, and it just screws me over.
Chat room is asking, are we checking email? We are. We're going to go through all the email questions here towards the end of the show. So all those emails you guys send in, SmiteTalk@gmail.com. We will get to them, no worries. So let's jump on to our next topic here. Guys, you guys can call in and talk about whatever. Like, we don't need to stay on point. So the schedule was released for SWC. What were your thoughts on this? What were your thoughts on this schedule overall? Putting aside matches, because those are completely altered now to a little bit different now that we've changed it. What were your thoughts on the schedule that they went over?
Well, the revised one is actually, I'm fine with it. I'm looking at it right now.
You're talking about the revised bracket?
Monitor.
The revised bracket?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaning more towards the schedule. And the reason
what are you talking about? Oh, the schedule.
Yeah. I guess the reason I brought it up was, like, there was this big hype about the brackets and the schedule. And, like, bam, they come on, they go through the schedule in, like, 5 minutes and it's gone. And it's like, why? Like, you could have talked about the schedule for an hour. I mean, maybe they're, for example, going over it. They talked about on day one, on Friday, the doors open at 8:30, which I think is great. But the pregame show doesn't even start till 12. So I was hoping that they would talk a little bit about what they're going to be doing in the meantime. Like, what's going to be available for spectators between 8:30 and 12? Is the Xbox One area going to be open? Are they going to have vendors there? I assume they're going to have cosplayers. Like, it'd be nice to be able to, like, hey, we're going to have a ton of stuff available for you guys. I didn't hear anything about that. So pregame show starts at 12. It looks like the first match at 12:30. It originally was We Love Bacon versus DID, and that's most likely changed. Yeah. They have the Xbox One reveal, though, is at 2. So if that's at 2, that's not even an option earlier on in the day, it looks like. Another match is going on. Then they didn't even talk about it. Season 2 reveal. They didn't even, like, tease us for it on stream. They just went right past it. Like, it wasn't important. And I was like, holy cow! Like, SPL Season 2. Kind of a big deal. So I guess I'm hoping that we're going to see more as we get closer. Is that something that you're expecting, or am I just looking? Yeah, am I looking for too much?
No, I mean, you're right, because you think about last year, we had, on the schedule, we had there was a show, there was a celebrity Smite match. Yep. There were, of course, the cosplay was there as well. Yep. There was like a little after party before, like a general after party. Yep. There was a lot of other things that were on the schedule that I don't see.
Yeah, I mean,
like this one's a lot more condensed and a lot more gappy.
Yeah,
I want to say.
I would love to see a more detailed schedule come out ahead of time, and I'd also like to see the same thing printed and given to you when you walk inside the door, so that at all times, like, you could be like, oh, in the main hall is this upcoming, a match going on at this time, whatever, or in the main hall they're doing the Season 2 reveal at this time, or in XYZ Hall is going to be the Xbox One at all time. Like I feel like I'd love to see that kind of broken down and in more detail. I think that would be great. You mentioned something too, like if you look at Saturday, the doors open at 9, which is cool. Excuse me. Pre-game show starts at 10, so you have an hour period there. Well, hey, what's going on? Do they have player signings going on where you can go get signatures from players? Do they have, both the cognitive gaming teams? You can, line up and get signatures. I think that'd be awesome if they arrange that type of stuff. I'm looking else here. We literally have, looks like 3. Now, granted, this could be different, but the last thing is at 10:30, and then it has 3 games, and I'm like, wow, is the day going to be over by 1 o'clock? That's what I was kind of confused about for Saturday.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, you really don't have anything. And then, at the launch event, we had a after party on Saturday night, and I believe on the site, I think if I go on there now, I think they have, is it the VIP tickets get you into that after party? Let me see here.
So is that the same thing as the Cursed Voice after party? That's the same thing, right?
Where do you see that at?
So that's Sunday at 9.
Ooh,
the Cursed Voice after party.
Yeah, I guess they're moving it to Sunday versus Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess to give the players a chance to enjoy themselves and maybe celebrate.
I could understand it. I remember being there last year, and some of the players had a good time, which is completely understandable. But like, then they expect them to play in like the finals the next day. It's kind of rough.
Well, with that being said, last year Dignitas was in there drinking and Zapman were in there drinking, having a good time at the party before the finals the next day.
Crazy.
Just throwing that out there.
Crazy
they did
kids.
Great.
Yeah.
They didn't win. They did great.
They did great. Yeah, if I look... Okay, so all the other tickets are sold out, so you can't even look at it. Only standard tickets are available, it looks like
standard
right
tickets,
now.
Yeah.
Which is the $24.99. I'll put a link in chat if you guys want to go purchase those.
So $24? Oh, that's a steal.
24, that's a digital. I'm sorry.
That's it? No, yeah.
It just says standard ticket. Let me see what that's at. Let me hit buy now. I'm sorry,
$50 for standard.
Yes, 50. You're correct. Yep. Oh, that's what it is. You know what I saw? I saw right underneath of standard. It just said there. Yeah, digital tickets $24.99, which is pretty cool. It looks like the
Dominion Pass for a cool $1 million.
Oh,
if you want one of those.
Oh, I want one of those. Who's got $1 million on the Dominion Pass?
I love how they put, please do not attempt to purchase this.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought I saw, you can't look anymore, but I thought for the Legendary Pass was into like a VIP. Maybe I'm mistaken, but.
No, it was like a VIP, a meet and greet. And then why
am I missing on this file that I've linked the pictures? I don't see anything about a curse party at 9. Where do you see that at? That's not in the notes.
I am on the HiResStudios.com promo thingy right here. Oh wait, I have access. I can just link this. Hold on.
Yeah. You're talking about the schedule there. Yeah, you can post that in chat. You're talking about on the schedule page, right?
Is that where you are?
Yeah, the schedule
page.
Yeah,
that's where I am.
Okay, I was looking off of the graphics that they used on the stream the other day.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about, which is in the notes. But yeah, I see that 9 o'clock Curse Voice After Party. So that's pretty cool. I wonder where they're going to hold that at. I wonder if they'll hold that at the venue again, or if it'll be a separate location. Kind of nifty that they have Curse sponsoring that too.
Yeah, cool. Hopefully it's at the same location, because trying to get people organized to go someplace else is always a hassle. Mm-hmm. But hopefully it's at the same venue. And come find me. Come find me and Octane. We'll be the only two. I'm not going to say it. So come find us. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it looks like they have the award ceremony and wrap up around 7:45 on Sunday. So that gives us enough time to, go back, clean up, make ourselves look sexy, and then we can go ahead.
Whoa, you trying to find a date there, buddy? There's a rock on your finger. I know.
Nope, that's all right. I'm part of the hardware club. Part of the hardware club,
Nice.
But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. So let's go ahead. We'll take a call here. Storm Ray, welcome to SmiteTalk. How's it going?
Well, hello, my good sir. How are you?
Oh, good sir. Oh, I feel old. What do you got for us today?
I have a question I just thought of. Forgot to tell Buddha, but don't worry, it's not inappropriate.
That's okay. We'll take it.
Looking for some advice, and then just a silly god suggestion I thought of yesterday.
Okay, go for it.
So the first question is, how exactly do you go about being involved in like the Smite voice actor program, like let's say donating your voice for a new god or a god pack or something of the sort?
That is an amazing question, and I don't know how hard it is, because I know for a fact Mesmerize has been clamored for to be a voice in Smite in some shape, fashion, or form. I don't know if he's eventually pulled it off, but Mesmerize has been in the community for what, 2+ years, Octane, you would say?
Yeah, he's been around
I
for a
know
while.
Lots of people have been wanting him to voice act things in there, so I don't know how easy it is, because they obviously know Mez, and he still hasn't been able to do one. So I'm not sure what the process is, but it seems like it's pretty grueling.
Yep. Yeah. I think your best bet would be to reach out to first start out with a community manager, which is Drybear. I would just shoot him a message on Twitter if you have Twitter. And just reach out to them. Just say, hey, can you point me in the right direction for some voice acting? I know they have quite a few handful of people that they do go ahead and contract to do that, depending on the character and stuff like that. And that would be my recommended avenue. If he can't put you in direct contact, he'll put you in that direction. Is to email this person or send a demo to this person or something like that. But that's what he's there for. He's a community manager, so he's there not only to bring us information but also to answer our questions. So I would reach out to him via Twitter when you have time.
I see. So it sounds like I better just get in line and wait.
Be patient. Right. That's what I was trying to say.
What was that comment? What was that comment? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I should probably just get in line and wait, basically.
I mean, I wouldn't say, you got to sit there and, like, take a number. I mean, you should easily... Here's my recommendation, okay? Make a Twitter post to Dry Bear. If you don't hear with him, if you don't hear from him in 2 weeks, shoot an email to the show, and I will put you in direct contact with him. How's that sound?
Woo! That sounds
all right.
Nice.
All right.
We'll take that.
So give it 2 weeks after you send a Twitter post at him. And if not, email the show, SmiteTalk@gmail.com, and I will pass it along to my contacts at Hi-Rez, and we'll see what we can do for you.
That sounds great. Look forward to it.
All righty. What was your second question?
The second one is I'm looking for advice.
Okay.
I played Smite since closed beta, and it's fundamentally the game that I started my stream schedule with. Granted, I do play other games like Battlefield and indie games here and there, but my main focus, at least at this point in time, is to stream Smite. I love entertaining people. I love having people come by and watching them laugh in the chat when I do something stupid in the game, or I crack a joke or something, or crack my voice like I just did right there. And I've been streaming for about roughly 2 years. When I first started streaming, it was Battlefield, then I saw the Smite closed beta, and I got an invite to it through a friend.
Yep.
And my issue that I'm having is I've tried multiple different approaches. I've tried doing streams the way people ask for. I've tried overlays and certain things like this and that. And I just can't seem to gain traction. After about 2 years, I have about 100 or so followers. Okay. And I'm looking not only for myself, but for other new streamers out there like myself. What are some good approaches we can take to in the Smite community to get ourselves noticed?
Okay, Buddha, I'm Buddha. Wow, FG, I will let you start out. I was literally just moving his message. I will let you start out with this one.
I saw that.
As you're in a different type of scenario, but you still have plenty of traction in the scene, without a doubt. A little different than streaming, but I think you could still answer some of this for him, and then I'll give my approach as well.
It's a good question. So, man, it's such an interesting phenomenon. Like, how do you get over that hump where you actually have, because the thing with Twitch is, if you don't have any viewers, it's kind of hard to get viewers. But how do you get viewers in the first place? You know what I mean? Once you're up in when it comes to Smite, all you need is about 100 or so to get noticed, and you'll be on the front page. But how do you get to that point? I really, to be honest, I think the best route to do is to jump on board with some of these hub channels right now that are really big. I know Tier Monster has one right now. Smite community, try to jump on there and try to feed off of their fans. Take the fans that you've already built for those 2 years and try to take some fans. I'm saying it like take their fans away from them, but you know what I mean. Kind of like
it's funny you say that because I've had a much newer one called 1010 Man TV, and they approached me out of the blue, said, "Hey, we like it. Would you like to stream for a couple hours a day on our community channel?" I said, "Sure, why the hell not?" And 4 or 5 people come, but I mean, it's pretty cool that you're there with other streamers and you get to have a good, time together, and it's a mutual fan base.
Yeah,
it's funny you mentioned that. I like that.
Word. Yeah. So do something like that, and then on top of that, once you start getting into the groove there, let's say I'm in the Smite or the streaming community with you, right? And you're streaming solo, you're doing your own personal stream, and I see you on, but hey, I'm like, hey, you're a part of our channel or you're part of our family, so I'm gonna host you. Like, I'm gonna say, hey, here's my fans, you go watch him when I turn my stream off. Like, all those things will start to kind of snowball for you if you do it like that. So try to join one of those communities and then make friends with other people. And once you start making friends with other people that are streaming, they'll be more than happy to host you. I'm sure, like, if I was streaming if me and Octane were streaming right now and Octane was about to log off, he would probably host my channel. That's just because
you
wouldn't.
Of course I would. Of course.
Geez, man.
But that's how you do it, right? Mutual fan base is the best way to do it.
Yeah, some recommendations I can give. First off, FG had commented on joining kind of these communities. I know Smite Central has been getting more into that as well. They're well known in the community. Tier Monster as well. I think Tier Monsters has kind of fallen off a little bit, but I know Smite Central is looking to kind of pick up on that a little bit more. So I would reach out to them. If you're having, Twitter, reach out to them as well. If you're having issues getting a hold of somebody, same thing. Email at SmiteTalk. Mention this conversation. I can put you direct contact with them to get you associated with that. Some other things somebody had actually mentioned in chat was Hi-Rez Studios started this awesome YouTube series called Breaking into the Game Industry, and it is multiple videos on a variety of different things, talking about just networking and social media and focus. Focus is a huge one, which even sometimes I have trouble with. And it's not like focusing on your screen or focusing on your attention. It's really putting your name behind one thing and driving that one thing. And they have a huge series on it. It's on streaming and everything. And I'll put a link in the raid call chat that you and I have right now, but I'll also put it in chat there. So someone else did as well. Watch it and go through these videos, and it's very, very helpful. I haven't even made it through all of them yet, and there's a lot of good information there. I mean, a lot of us in the community or streaming, we kind of want to jump on and do a little bit of everything, you know, whatever we can do to get attention. And that is the wrong thing to do, because at this point in the game for someone like you want to have a focus. And what I mean by that is when you're streaming, what should people know you as? Do they know you as the professional player, the high-level player, the ranked player? Do they know you as the entertainer? Do they know you as the YouTube guy, like FG, if he was to stream? You know, do they know, you know, how do they know you? Are you like for me, for example, my stream is not high-level play. It is entertainment, and it is viewer games. That's all I do. If you go on my channel or go on my stats page, it looks like I don't play Smite for my stats page, because you go on there and it's like Octane plays once a week. I play every day, but I play custom games because I'm always playing. I'm always playing with viewers constantly, and that's what I'm known for. And that's why people want to play Smite with me. They come join my channel. So the focus is extremely important for your channel as well, and that's what I can encourage. I mean, I could say that. I could say viewer interaction as well. You know, it's very important. You should be reading your chat every 15 seconds. When I'm playing when I'm playing Smite and I'm like, I finished a battle or I die, bam, I'm right on chat answering a question. Granted, I know you have to focus, you know, you're cruising through jungle, stuff like that, but, you know, interact with chat a little bit more, stuff like that. And finally, the last recommendation I can make is social media. You know, Twitter started out, you know, a lot smaller for me and has grown to be a decent size, and that's what I can recommend. And so, you know, I let people know like 3 hours ahead of time before I start streaming, like, hey, in 3 hours, we're doing community viewer games tonight. Any skill level welcome. Come join me. Here's the link. You know, with social media as well on Twitter, it's always good to add a picture in there as well. There's some statistics out there that say that if you have a picture associated with your tweet, people are more likely to look at it versus just a whole bunch of text.
What?
Yeah, I think it's like 80%. I'm not lying. It's really high up there. Yeah, so there's different.
No wonder you've been tweeting so many pictures.
So there's so much about social media to take advantage of. I mean, I feel like Facebook is taking it a little bit farther. If you were to have that social outlet as well, but you know, I take full advantage of Twitter. Even if you don't have any followers, you can grow them. You know, follow people that you would like them to follow you, and you might have that opportunity. So I think there's a lot you can do with it, but it's taking a step back and deciding what's my focus, what do I want people to know me as, and how do I advertise myself. Advertising avenues are things like Tier Monster we talked about, Smite Central, social media. Other people go a different route. Final example. Let's talk about Drybear, for example. I always use him. He is the perfect example of a successful streamer. Drybear started out on YouTube and built his community on YouTube with a variety of different games. Then he started to get into Smite. And I remember Drybear's first day when he came on to Smite, because I've been in the scene for quite a while. And when he first came in to stream, I should say not into Smite, but the first day he came into streaming, him and I had a conversation back and forth ahead of time, and he was kind of iffy about streaming and stuff like that. And then he went from YouTube. The first day he started streaming, he had 600 viewers. It is absurd.
His first day.
His first day. And the reason was because he built thousands and thousands of subscribers on YouTube. And so when he posted a video on YouTube, that was, Drybear's now live. Check me out here. And he had that up on the page there. You know, if you're a YouTube subscriber, you get that link that says, Drybear posted a new video. Well, people saw, oh, Drybear's streaming right now. Wow, that's awesome. I've been watching him for XYZ. I want to go check him out. You know, he's live now. That's awesome. They went, checked him out instantly. I remember people are sitting there, and it's like, I remember sitting there. I'm like, who is this Drybear person that just jumps on Smite, first day streaming,
and take over?
He just rocked it. Like, and then 600 viewers was unheard of. Like 100 viewers was like Lassus then, or maybe Zapman. I don't even know if it was Barracuda was even big into streaming then. And so it's just a story behind it where you need to take advantage and network yourself in a variety of different ways. And Drybear took his success on YouTube, integrated it with Twitch, now his success with Hi-Rez, now you go over to his YouTube channel, it's like 45, 50,000 plus now. So that's
100K actually.
I know. 100K. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
It shows the last time I looked at it.
The plaque. I'm so excited. You know, you get a plaque once you hit 100K. Like
really?
YouTube sends you this awesome
yeah, they send you a little silver plaque. It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Actually, I'm looking forward to him getting it.
Yeah. So that's
predicament with. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, Octane.
No, go for it. Go for it.
How long do we have? Am I taking up too much time?
You are not taking up too much time. It's an excellent question. What do you got?
Okay. So you were talking about how making a fan base on YouTube is helpful too, and it definitely was for Dry Bear. But here, this is my issue with that. About 7 or 8 years ago, I started voice acting for a machinima called The Forgotten Spartans. You remember the machinima channel and how big it used to be?
I recall.
And
yeah, it's still big.
Are they? I haven't heard much from them since I did that. But anyways, since then, I've been voice acting for a lot of people in like their Halo shows and things they do. And
okay, cool.
I've gotten a decent following around that. Like they know me as Stormray from the Forgotten Spartans. They actually named the character after me. So my small following on YouTube are folks that mainly consist of people looking for like voice work from me. And when I try to present to them like gameplay, commentary, or like game beginner's guides, or even just vlogs that I call storm vlogs, I don't think they really know how to like approach that, because they're like, well, we like this guy because he does the voice work and all these shows that we love, and we're not so sure we're going to like his game content. And what I really am trying to figure out is how can I bring that part of my community into the gaming and commentary part of what I do, and just let them know, hey, this is me as a whole.
What do you got?
That is a great question. If you figure it out, I want you to tell me. Because
I don't think there's an answer. I just wanted to let you know.
I honestly don't think that there is. Like, for example, my channel is 98% Smite. 98% Smite, all Smite. Right. Anytime I post anything that's not Smite, the very first comment is, where's Smite?
Yeah.
Like if I try to post, if I try to post World of Warcraft, if I try to post Overwatch or Heroes of the Storm, I can't do it. I can, but it doesn't get the reception that when I post a Smite video. So I think when it comes to, it kind of harkens back to what Octane said before. You have to drill into what you do. So if you want to make a full 180 from your channel being about voice acting to Smite, you have to kind of go through that rough patch and just post Smite, post Smite, post Smite, post Smite. And then what's going to happen is the people that like you already will either come with you or leave, and then you'll start getting more and more followers as well. Like YouTube is the best way to do it, because you're sleeping and your YouTube video is on YouTube. Like you're asleep right now and you're still getting people, whether it's 10 views, 1,000 views, whatever, all day long, 365 days a year. So I would still go the YouTube route. If you want to do Smite, if you want to jump in the community, just post Smite videos. You can't. Nothing's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
What's the worst gonna happen, right?
The worst. Nothing. You know what I mean? They're gonna either leave or they're gonna stay. There's nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I keep drilling into focus. It's such a big one. I remember when I first started out with Smite, I had streamed StarCraft 2 for well over a year or more before that. And when I first started getting into Smite, I started streaming Smite a little bit, but then I started getting to YouTube. And when I was getting into YouTube more and more then, most of my content was StarCraft 2, but I didn't have a huge following or anything like that. I still don't have a huge following. But when I swapped over to Smite, I started to do a lot of commentary then. And that was then that I would take like a Smite replay and recast it. And then it was like you would cast like Curse or Juice or Root. Those were the teams then when I first started getting into that. And I started to do that more and more, and I posted on Reddit, and I'd be like, then I'd be like, hey, check out, Curse versus Root from XYZ tournament, and I posted on Reddit. People would give me their feedback, and I get a decent amount of views that way. It was great, but over time, I found, that my skill set was not in commentating. And I made that disconnect. I decided, okay, I'm not going to try that anymore, because there are people in the scene that are much better at that. Dry Bear started to get into it then. Kret started to get into it then. People that have been around the scene for quite some time. Bart was doing it for quite a while then as well. And so I decided, I'm not the best at that. And I don't really want people to know me as that if I'm not going to be, the best I can. And for me now, my focus is really shows. Is Smite shows. That's what people know me for, because that's kind of what I do. And so the focus is the biggest thing. So I think that really wraps up kind of that question. I mean, it was a great question. I mean, we went on for a while about it.
Yeah, for sure. Still Mez.
I hope I didn't
Still
cause
Mez
a
is
brain
thunder.
aneurysm.
No, you're fine. Still Mez is
gotta be that
thunder.
one
We need
before.
another voice actor in Smite. That's you. Make it happen.
That's right. I hope so, man. Wow, that'd make my day.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you know, guys, make sure you guys go out and follow this man on Twitter. I'll post his link in chat. It's it's Twitch. I'm sorry, twitch.tv/StormRayPlays. I'll put a link in chat. You know, give this guy a little bit of love. Go ahead and hit that follow button on his stream. Right now, he's doing a great thing. He's hosting Smite game on his channel. But go over there and just hit that follow button. Show him some support. It's the best feeling in the world to know that, hey, you know, people heard what you had to say tonight. They want to show you some support, and they click that follow button. It's completely free. It costs the 1,300 of you in chat nothing to go ahead and follow this man. So please go ahead and do it. Storm Ray, you have a good night. Thank you very much for calling in.
You too, guys. I appreciate it so much.
No problem.
See you, man.
What a nice young man. All right.
Those questions are always so hard, though.
They are. Because there's no instant answer. Like, boop, instant answer.
Yeah, if it was easy, then everyone would do it. You know what I mean? If it was just a 1, 2, 3 step, everyone would do it. So
yeah. And,
I know.
you know,
But
you
next
might,
question.
it's interesting because you may get a different answer or even a skewed answer from someone like Big in Smite who streams like DM Brandon or Lassus, like where Lassus's focus is pro high level play. And DM Brandon is kind of a mixed. DM Brandon is kind of high level play, analytical side of things, but then very much like the community kind of things because he's kind of built a community around himself. So it'd be interesting to hear what they had to say if they were asked the same question versus very community driven content like you and I have. Yeah,
for sure.
So let's go ahead here and we'll jump on to our next topic here. Then we'll bring in, we got plenty of callers in chat there. So let's talk about the bracket change, and I'll let you take this one. What happened with the brackets? What went on there?
Actually, you're gonna have to take this one. I saw it late.
Okay, so
all you, buddy.
No problem.
I was playing WoW. I was raiding that night.
No excuse. No excuse. So as a lot of you guys know, the brackets were posted the other day, and they were single elimination, a lot of best of one, which upset a lot of people, not only players but also community, where they were like, we're gonna see these people go to Worlds, play once and get knocked out and they're done. And a lot of people were like, and the NA and EU teams were seeded later, like higher, so they were later on in the single elimination bracket. So some people were like, oh, they have an unfair advantage, and there was a huge problem with that. A lot of outcry on Reddit, a lot of outcry on Twitter. People did not like it, and I like what Hi-Rez did. Hi-Rez Stu really took the reins and put a really great Reddit post out there explaining why they did it, but then said, here's some alternatives. Let's vote on it. And it was awesome. There's like 3,000 votes on Reddit that using straw poll, and the community gave Hi-Rez feedback, and within that was on Saturday, and then literally within 2 days they already revised the brackets to a totally different style. Excuse me, still a little sick. And you know, there are more details. I can go ahead and post them in chat on the new style. So it's more pool play driven now, which is awesome. And you know, it's great to see, you know, so pretty much Stu had said with nearly 3,000 votes collected, it seems clear that the community will choose the bracket 2, which was the option, double elimination group play. And I'm really happy about this. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, did you like the single elimination best of one quite a ways through the tournament, or are you a fan of the double elimination and the group play decision?
Yeah, you know, single elimination is harsh, man. Especially when you have to wait a year. Lots of people coming from all around the world to watch their favorite teams play. It's just too much. So I definitely like the change here, and I really like the fact that this goes to show people, and I hope Reddit has really short memory when it comes to things like this. But Hi-Rez listens to the community big time. Like, they had, I mean, if you take a company like, I'm going to throw a company under the bus, Valve put out a bracket like this, they're not going to change it. They're like, whatever, the bracket's done, see ya.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of companies out there that they wouldn't even look at feedback, let alone change it based off of feedback. And then on top of that, ask for your votes.
Yeah, that's true.
It's massive. So Hi-Rez is a generous god. They're a great company, and I mean, I do like the changes so far. Absolutely.
Yeah, I put a link in chat, which is the Twitter post there from Stu here, kind of saying, after careful review and feedback from fans and partners around the world, here is the revised bracket. And this is pretty cool. So Friday, they have the bracket made up there. They do have a round 1, which is best of 1, which I'm fine with. Completely fine with best of 1 when you have double elimination. Completely okay with it. So you have round 1. You're going to have Cog Red versus DID. Then you're going to have in round 1 SK Gaming versus We Love Bacon. Then we have Titan, which is...
I'm looking at an old bracket.
Oh, check it out in Twitch chat because they got the active stuff. So then we have Titan.
Now here I am.
We have Titan versus OMG. Finally, we have Cog Prime versus Name Not Found. So that is kind of our round.
Which is actually their team name.
Yeah, that's right. So that's round 1. It's best of 1. Then those teams will move on and do a best of 1 as well in the next bracket. And then below that, they have round 2. So the losers go down. So on day 1, we're going to see some teams... We're almost going to see all of these teams play twice. You know, it's either going to be it's going to be winners first round and third round. You know, so let's say Cog Red wins game 1, then they go on to the next game and they play. You know, they'll play twice, which is great. And then losers bracket, you know, those people will play. So day 1 is going to be a very long day. Hence why I think they say doors open at 8:30 and they start at 12. I'm thinking they're going to revise this. I'm thinking they're going to revise the schedule and start games earlier in the morning, because if they start at 12 and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to do the entire day, that's a ton. And that's just not 8 games back to back. You have your breaks in between. So like that's a ton of games that they have to do. So I think
but they're probably going to do it like the same way they did last year with them running at the same time simultaneously.
No. So only one stage.
Is there only one screen?
One screen.
What? I did not know that.
Hi-Rez Stu once again coming to bat for us, gave a great write-up as to they did one stage because of managing one stream versus having enough people and equipment to manage 2 stages. They found the population of the audience on a second stage at launch was not enough. On top of that,
and it was hot up there.
It wasn't upstairs. It just wasn't. Furthermore, final thing, it was the fact as well that players did not have the opportunity to play on the main stage. So some of these guys just played upstairs at the launch tournament, maybe 10 people watching them live, off to the side, not even really a stage, just a player area with a giant LED screen. So, like somebody in chat says, I never went to the second stage.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people saw the second stage for the first time. Have my voice. When they went to the after party. So they're doing it on
like that snipe game should have been on the main stage.
Oh, I know the one where the huge.
It should have been on the main stage.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're talking about 8 games, 1 stage, starting at 12. That's either going to be one heck of a long day, or they start earlier. I don't see why they don't start earlier. I mean, they're letting you in at 8:30, but they weren't going to start anything until 12. You might as well, bump it to like 10 or something. I just feel like that time.
At least 10.
So I think with the new schedule, we might see, with the new brackets, we'll see a revised schedule. So
I mean, you got a bunch of people that aren't from Atlanta visiting Atlanta.
Yeah,
we're going to be up anyway. Like no one sleeps in when you're in another city. You're going to be up looking for something to do.
So the schedule looks cool. I'm excited about that. If you guys need a link, it is in chat. Let's go ahead and take our next caller here. Liberty, welcome to SmiteTalk. How's it going? Hello. Maybe.
Hello. Wrong
hey.
There we go.
There you go. Hey. So what do you want to talk about today? Welcome to SmiteTalk.
All right. First of all, I heard you guys talking about tier monsters. So
yeah, go for it.
If I put a little plug?
Go for it.
Tier gaming, it's the new thing. We're switching over to a network style of streams.
I knew that.
I know you knew that. but yeah, that should be good.
Go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
Are you guys getting feedback, or is that just me?
No, maybe you just need to mute the stream or something.
Maybe. All right. Well, Yeah, basically it's a network now. We've got some pretty cool people. We've got Lydia, Mez, Jace Guitar, Pro Quesadilla. You guys should check that out. Anyways, what I was hoping to talk about was okay, I'm getting weird feedback issues. Sorry.
That's okay. You sound fine to us. So power through.
I will attempt, man. I was going to talk about, like, we're hearing a lot about the SWC, right? Like, we're hearing a lot of hype about how we hit 2 million. We've got new sponsors, new people coming into the scene, the brackets and all that.
Yep.
But what I wanted to ask was, why do you guys think it matters, like in a big picture sense, you know?
Okay, so
why does it matter that Smite hit 2 million? Like,
not necessarily Smite itself, but like, why does the fact that we have this matter? Why are we doing this in a big picture scene, you know?
That's a nice broad question. I like it though.
Well,
Octane, you got this?
Sure. So you're just asking why are we doing this big community fed prize pool? You know, what's the whole point of it? Is that the question?
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Well, there's 2 points to that. 2 sides to that. You have an esports side and a game growth side. And the biggest one here is to increase the accounts and the growth of the game overall. The registered accounts. And what I mean by that is a lot of people that don't watch or enjoy esports or get into that don't realize, and sometimes they get frustrated as to why Hi-Rez puts so much into esports. Why are you putting so much in esports? You know, I just want to play the game. I don't care about that XYZ. People will say. Esports is your main advertising avenue for a competitive game at this time. Competitive, not necessarily saying, you know, the whole esports side, just getting into game and playing against other people. You know, multiplayer. It is their biggest advertising avenue. And so with every event they do, they grow the name. They you know, other gamers that are watching other games or checking out other games or even in other MOBAs are more likely to check out Smite when they hear the words esports, prize pool, 2 million.
Right.
Like, so it's a natural magnet. So that's the 2 sides of it. You have one, you grow your community as a whole. You grow your accounts. With the more accounts, brings in more return on investment, your ROI there. And so they're able to go ahead and that's more influx there for their cash flows. So they're able to then put some of that into their facility. Look what they did to their facility. They went ahead and doubled and tripled the size of their staffing over this year. Then on top of that, look at the esports side of things. So, excuse me, they have this huge, I know, they have this huge side within the esports scene where they are able to go ahead and create this whole league and this excitement around it. And it attracts people, these diehard fans, even more and more. And it's growing and it's becoming larger and larger. So the big question of why are you doing it? You know, what's the benefit of doing either of these is it's business. They're trying to grow their game. And so they're using the advertising avenues available to grow the game in 2 avenues. One for the game content and the game accounts, and the other one for the esports angle, which directly allows it to go full circle all around. So that's my thoughts, FG. Do you have any input on that?
Well,
what were you about to say? Go for it.
I was going to say that still, if you're going to go with that argument, it's still kind of insular, I guess would be the word I would use for it. It's all in-house, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the argument is we're doing this esports because we want to grow the game itself, it's just kind of this circular logic thing. We want the game to do successful, so we go to the esports. My question is, if you're talking about something like science, if you're talking about something like performing arts, you can make an argument that advancing this creates opportunities elsewhere. It helps the world, helps people around the world as a whole. So why do you think that esports is important, or the SWC in this specific case?
I mean, if you want to take it to that standpoint, I feel like esports is really, really important because, you know, I grew up, I hate to brag about myself, but I was a track star in school. I was pretty amazing.
Oh my word.
When you take it to to that aspect, athletic scholarships are everywhere. I had no problem getting athletic scholarships. But if you know, if you're really, really smart, you have scholarships. If you know, you have all these different, if you're a very minority type person, I don't want to say it, you can get a scholarship. But now there
are additional avenues available for you. Let's be political. Let's be political.
I was trying to. But now we've opened up a door to say, you know what? You are extremely good at League of Legends. Guess what? We're going to pay for your college now. Guess what? All the older people that are probably like 50 or 60 years old, I'm not being politically correct about that say, oh, you're playing games, just wasting your time. Now we say, no, games are more than that. Games, not only, there's so many studies out there that say that gamers have better reaction times. They make better doctors. There's so many things about gamers that people don't realize. They think you're just in your mom's basement like Octane, but that's his own basement, not his mom's.
That's
you're
right.
Just in your basement wasting your time. When people see esports, you get people like CBS doing reports on you, NPR. All these people are starting to say, wait a minute, $2 million? What are they doing? I thought they were just playing games. I thought they were just playing Angry Birds. You know what I mean? So it gets America on your side. It gets Korea on your side. It gets all these people. Well, Korea's always been there, but it gets all these people realizing that games are not just for little kids. There's business behind it. There's, you know, education behind it. There's all kinds of things that can come out of it. People are making careers off of it in YouTube, gaming, esports. It's massive. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't know if that answers your question, but you kind of compared it to arts, and I feel like we're in the same realm as like arts and film and being actors. All these things go together, meaning that there is a central core being gaming and all kinds of spider webs that go off of gaming to make it just, you know, whatever it is, because I've lost my train of thought now.
You know, and I think actually the size of the size of esports, the fact that so many people are into it now, is a big part of why it's significant. Like, if you were talking about, say, EU Land, right? The EU Land when Aquila made the comeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was, if I remember correctly, it was 10,000 people all watching the same thing, and those are people from Europe and from America, from all around the world, just coming together for one common cause. And I think that's kind of one of the big things that contributes, is that it brings people together in a way that say a lot of things couldn't. You know, It's the same thing for sports, for a lot of entertainment.
Sure. It's just a commonality. Yeah. It's just the commonality there, and the commonality and the love of the game that brings people to it. So I can see that. That's a good question. What other questions you got for us tonight?
No, that was it.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All righty.
Looking forward to the day, Octane, where we can have like a CBS or an MSNBC newscaster talk about an esports event and not laugh right after they say it. That's my goal.
Did you see the CBS Sunday morning how video games became a spectator sport?
I did, and a lot of people are kind of like congratulating, like that's like one of the better ones.
Yeah, I liked it. I
feel like
it was okay. I liked it. I liked it because it was something I could show my parents, and they would understand it. They would watch it and understand it. It wasn't geared for gamers. It was geared for the general public.
Exactly, and you made a great point. So it was not geared towards us because we already know. So I guess the host was interviewing for people that have never seen esports, that don't know what's going on, and his questions to me felt like they were kind of leading. You know what I mean? I didn't really like that. It's like, for example, if I say, Octane, you don't like hamburgers, do you? Like, I'm leading you to say, oh, maybe I don't like hamburgers.
Yeah.
So the interviewer was kind of like, why are these people playing games? Yeah. Why do people want to watch people play games? Like, I don't really like questions like that. It wasn't really. That's my grievance. That's my grievance.
Yeah. I can see where you're going with that. You also have to remember, though, like he's asking those questions as if he was some random person in public, and that's what they think when they see that right off the back. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of where he was going. But either way, I really liked it, and it kind of feeds
I'm
right.
glad they got Pactor on it.
Yeah,
to be honest, a lot of people don't like Pactor, but I like the fact that he doesn't look like a gamer. But he is a gamer. He's an analyst. He makes money off of games and wedging bets and stuff like that. And it gave people a little bit more commonality. Like, wait a minute, that's interesting. I thought gamers they all look like Octane, but apparently they don't.
Not all of them can look as handsome as I do, so it's okay.
Hello.
So we're gonna go ahead and We're probably not going to talk about Wheelix tonight, just because of all of our calls and emails. But
first things first, I'm a Wheelix. Why not? Oh man, that sucks. Maybe one of the callers will talk about it.
That's right. So let's go through some of these emails. We'll also take some more calls here. We have plenty of people lining up in raid call here. Let's see here. This email comes to us from Dylan. He says, I was playing a game versus Sun Wukong and saw an unusual pick, Shield of Regrowth. An underused item, and its passive is very powerful. The tree of those items are seemed very unused and in the casual scene. I'm not looking for a nerf, but I was just wondering, are there any mana aura items also unused? Anything you could think about that's gives you mana aura items that are unused?
What?
I'm just trying to think if there are any that come off that. We'll see. The aura is the big one there, because I'm not knowing that there's any that are mana focused that like don't get the attention.
Not mana focused.
Yeah.
I only know a lifesteal magic one, which is the P piece, because I can't pronounce the word.
I mean, there's a lot of items in the game that kind of go unused. You know what I mean? That have kind of like fallen off a little bit.
Sure.
And we see that, and they kind of. It's interesting because we use the term meta. We see the meta shifts occur, and these items kind of come back to light and become a little bit more common in a certain strategy or a certain build or stuff like that. So it's very much that problem that some games have, where they get to a point sometimes where they have too many items. I don't think Smite's there. I think we're in a good spot where we don't have so many items that like some are buried and that we never see them. I remember when they redid the item structure entirely. When was that? Like a year ago? And it was
it seems like it.
It was like the end of the world, like trying to get used to that new item system. But now,
for the better.
Yeah, and now it works out well. But there were a lot of items that were taken out at that time period just because they didn't really have a spot anymore. So, I think it's a good question. We appreciate you emailing in about it. I don't know that I have a direct answer for you right there regarding mana specifically, but. Either way,
but maybe a god will come out and things will change. You think about a lot of the items that we have right now, like Malice, for example. No one really used Malice until Circuit came out, right? Some of these items are based off of meta and gods, so maybe we'll see new items come out with new gods, or maybe some old items come out to light, like Aussie when he came to gods with hit progressions. Aussie couldn't exist. Aussie would have never been good in the first year of Smite because no one had a hit progression for the most part.
True. That's true.
So we'll see. But just like you said, I like the amount of items that are in the game right now.
Yeah, definitely. Another question here says, this one comes from Troy. Do you think they will add more maps so you can pick a map just like you pick a god, like where you pick a god with bans and so do you where you vote on it and there's bans and picks on maps and stuff like that?
FPS style.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Because I feel like if you make a new map, it's going to be a new mode, and then people are going to, you know what I mean? It's not like Heroes of the Storm. It's almost the same game, but there's like 10 different maps. Mm-hmm. It works for that game, but for Smite, if it's a different map, it feels like it's going to be Domination Part 2. And if I don't want to queue for Domination, I don't want to go in and vote and then get outvoted and have to play Domination when I really want to play Conquest. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe if you wanted like a snow level or maybe an ice level of Conquest, maybe, but not different maps totally.
I like the idea. I like the idea of different maps in regards to themed maps. So let's talk about like somebody said skins or something. So I'm going to use themed. I like themed better, like a themed map. And I think that would work out really well. So if you took Arena, for example. People always say, Arena doesn't get enough love. So we're going to talk about Arena. So let's say you did Arena. Remember when you had like the nighttime Arena? And like the daytime arena, that was an option.
People were so mad.
I think it's great. I would love to see like 10 different arena maps, all that are themed. And then when you get into a game during the bans and pick stage or somewhere in there, depending on the game mode or style you play, that you could just, it's quick and simple and easy. And what I mean by that is maybe you jump in and it gives you like 5 maps to pick from. And you have to pick from those 5. Even though there might be 10 or 15, you have to pick from those 5. And it might be randomly generated. So I think that'd be great. You know, you could have, you know, one that is Chinese themed, or you talked about snow, or, you know, Chinese New Year kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you could do all these different ones that I think would be really cool. There's a lot of, like, different points in time that you could focus on as well. And, you know, like different time periods and stuff. And I don't know that it would be something you would have to purchase. I think I wouldn't like that. I like it to just be something in game. And I don't know, that might be something that Hi-Rez is not looking to invest in, because they can't make any money back from it. Oh, Octane, you're saying that we make these art assets and we spend all this time on it, but that you don't want us to charge for it. No, I think it's more of a quality of life type of thing. You know, you give your community something like that. So that would be my thoughts. I'd be perfectly okay with it as long as it doesn't affect gameplay at all.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yep. We'll take one more question here, and then we're going to jump into some more viewer questions, and we'll jump back and forth. This one's from Austin. He says, "Hello, love the show." Well, great, thank you. My question is, what exactly happened with the new queue in terms of making teams? I played the game for almost a year, and I'm getting teamed up with players on their first game. Keep up the good work.
Still? Whoa.
What do you think?
When was this emailed in?
December 2nd. So not too far along.
So not too far left. Huh, no. Man. I don't know, man. I feel like Siege, I feel like the matchmaking still isn't perfect yet on Siege, but when I play Conquest, I felt like the matchmaking has gotten a lot better. Mm-hmm. Like I'm finally seeing, you know, I don't see a lot of people buying, you know, Guardian boots and I have Providence anymore when I'm playing Hunter. Like I'm seeing the quality of life improvements on there. But if he's talking about Siege, I feel like that's still kind of hit or miss. Yeah. I feel like I get teamed up with, you know, either I'm going against fully stacked teams or I get people that have never played Siege before. And that might just have to do with the fact that less people play Siege than Conquest, but I don't really know the numbers, to be honest.
Yeah. It's, I'm trying to think. Like, I didn't really see a huge, like, going back 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, maybe longer, when I first started playing Smite, I didn't really have a problem with the matchmaking system then. Granted, like, you didn't have ranked or anything then, so it wasn't like a huge deal. I never did, but go ahead. like it wasn't available then at one point, and so, you know, like, it didn't bother me. Like, it really didn't bother me. It was pretty good. I feel like matchmaking has really been this huge outcry in the community within the last year. Like, going back like a year, and let's say we go back like a year and a half or so, I felt like the system wasn't the best, but it wasn't like terrible. And I just feel like we've gone on and on about matchmaking, and the community has, and Hi-Rez has, and there's just been so many iterations to the point where now where it just seems worse than ever. Like, where it's just at a point now where it's like, we talked about waiting longer to get a better matchmaking, and I feel like people are waiting longer, extremely longer, and not getting anything better. So we haven't solved anything. We just made the queues longer. So I don't know. I don't know if like the whole system needs to be completely trashed and built differently. I don't know all the specifics behind it. Hi-Rez Chris would be able to provide more. It seems like one of these ongoing struggles that just needs to get addressed. And, you know, in order to allow Smite to progress forward, because turning people off, especially pro players, turning people off to ranked, you can't have that. Your top level players cannot be turned off to the matchmaking system for the game that they try to make money on and love, because their direct feelings towards it are reflected onto the community, to the 1,000 people that are watching them stream every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's really killing it. It's not, you know, it's not helping much. It's the same thing with, like, I know some people are going to be mad at me about this, Hi-Rez, but it's the same thing with spectator mode. Like, I'm sorry, but spectator mode, when it came out, it worked better than what it's working now. And maybe it's just because from what we see on our side as the viewer, I used to work a lot more with spectator when it first came out, when like only certain people had it. You had to be given it. Then it worked fine. It worked great, and I feel like it worked great for a little while after that. But I feel like we've added features and tried to fix spectator and fix it and fix it and fix it. And now it's to the point where like we have professional games going on today, and half the time we don't get to watch the match because it's all got to take commercial break, or, oh, we got to run this video. Oh, we got to fix this. And it's like, guys, we're about to do a $2 million prize pool world championship, and your spectator mode doesn't even work right. And I love Hi-Rez. I love the people that work for it, but it's like, guys, like, we're better than this. We have to be. We have to be. We are looking to beat out the big boys. Like we gotta polish this stuff. And I know like other people are gonna be mad at me too. Like I know we're looking to come out with new content. We got all these people that work for us, and you know this content needs to be made. We got new guides coming out, new this and new that and new this. But fix the stuff you got in place first. Then let's talk about new content. There's no rush. As you and I have talked about, FG, we don't need a god we don't need 2 gods a month. Give us like 1 god a month, or give us a little feature here. Like Hi-Rez is just pumping out content, and I just feel like things are.
It's impressive to a degree, and then right back to your point. I don't think a lot of people were just clamoring for it.
Yeah,
like we could take a break. We could have skipped Nox.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that like it really gets me fired up, because like if I wasn't passionate about the Smite community, I wouldn't be involved with it for 2.5 years plus. Like I feel the community deserves the better things handed to them, and do not put them out until they are polished to 110%, because this is what happens. Like we have these things occur. So that's just my philosophy, and I'm hoping we see better things to come over the next few weeks, because like at SWC, if we have these spectator issues, it's going to be a downhill slope from there.
Cut to DM Brandon and Dry Bear.
That's right. Now, so on that lovely negative note, let's go over to Mata here. Mata, welcome to SmiteTalk. How's it going, man?
How's it going, Austin and FG?
It's going good. So what do you want to talk about today?
DM just found out that if you use beads with Junkie card on you, that you don't take any damage.
It cleanses it off, or
yes,
whatever.
Is this like new information?
I had a whole bunch of people message me like as the show was going live and during the live show so far, and be telling me that a million times. It most likely is one of those bugs they'll fix tomorrow. From what I saw, they're doing like a small hotfix tomorrow morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but with right now, do you think that makes Jean-Qui unplayable since he has so many counters plus speeds?
Unplayable? They're not gonna. What do you think they were gonna jump in and like turn him off? Oh, okay. I don't necessarily know that. I mean, not unless everybody knows that little secret.
Because I mean, like I jumped into a game after, and right away someone picked Jean-Qui, and they were countering it right away with beads.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a negative thing. It didn't really explode until like the last hour, 2 hours maybe.
Yeah. So DM was streaming and he figured it out.
Yeah. So then everybody knows about it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know necessarily should I say like unplayable, but I think that it'll present a problem over the next like 8 hours until they go ahead and fix it tomorrow morning. Hopefully they do. I imagine they would. You know what I mean? So what's your next question? Because I know you didn't call just for that.
Hey, it actually was just for that.
Oh, you're better than that, Mata. You're better than that. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Welcome to SmiteTalk. How's it going? Hello, hello.
Hello.
So what would you like to talk about today?
Mainly, I would like to talk about, 2 things.
Sure.
And that would be, the first one would be why a lot of people think Neja is bad.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay.
Go on. Next question, sorry.
And the second one would, be how to play, some gods like, Sun Wukong in, every role in Conquest.
Okay. So you want to take the first one there?
Yes, I do.
See, me personally, I like Neja, but no one lets me play him because everyone thinks he's bad.
You want to take this one, FG? Boy. This is right up your alley, dude.
Well, let's be clear about one of my favorite gods in the entire game. I think when people, and I'll try to take myself out of the fanboy shoes for a second. When I think people say he's bad is the fact that his late game is suspect. Like if the game goes 35 minutes long in a conquest, he is not your guy anymore. He really isn't. He's made to get it. Like I play him in the solo lane or I play him in ADC role. My whole mission in life is to get a tower down in 10 minutes, start rotating to mid and just causing havoc, making them surrender 15, 20 minutes and call it good. That's my goal. And if it goes to 35 minutes, I'm like, someone else help me. He's all or nothing.
I mean, granted, that's the point, and I understand that he's, I guess, easy to counter.
Yeah.
But you have to also see it the same way as Ares. It's the same stuff to counter him, but, you know, no one sees that big of a problem with Ares. That could just be the ult making people waste beads. But I don't know.
Well, Ares could make an entire team use beads, where Anisha ults you or tries to Miller sash you, and he wastes an ultimate. It's gone. Beads done.
It doesn't have any team-based kind of AoE except for maybe his rings.
Nothing at all.
You know, I mean, his rings do affect other players, but outside of that, correct. He's not affecting a whole team in one area, so I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, what about Thanatos, for instance? I mean, it's kind of the same way. It has a hard fall off late game, but more people play him and see him more viable than Asia.
I would say that's arguable. I think that's more of a preference between Thanatos and Nisha. They both have the same exact symptoms. Like, the longer the game goes on, because they're a single target kind of god, and that strategy works really good in the mid game when people are roaming and there's little small groups. But once you get late game and there's a 5-person group there, and let's say you pick off the Hebo in the back, you're dead. You're dead right after that, and that's kind of the problem.
That's also probably another thing. Is it possible to give his ult where when you land, you know, you're not landing exactly where you started, so you don't have the entire team surrounding you?
I hate to say it. Maybe that needs to happen. Like you're saying, basically he would go up like an Ao Kwang or something and be able to shoot somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right, but maybe not that more exaggerated.
That's kind of big. That's kind of hardcore.
But
because it would have to be more than New Wa though, because New Wa is still kind of predictable to get. But even like a New Wa, kind of like you kind of nudge your way to a different direction. I could see that.
Yeah.
Because you think about Rom, he goes straight up and comes back down, but he also has, he has his 3 to bounce out as soon as he comes down if he needs to.
As opposed to Neja, the only thing you're going to be escaping is by hitting someone in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Armillery sashing out of there.
Yeah. Let's avoid this damage and say hello to someone else.
That's right.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree with some of the people that say he's bad, but the only way he's bad is late game. In the early and mid game, he is so hard. I mean, he is super, super strong. He's one of my favorite gods. So obviously, I'm going to talk good about him.
Right, I mean,
but don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. A lot of games don't. How many games of Conquest do you play out of 10 actually go to 30+ minutes? Like a lot of them are earlier surrenders.
Casual's a rank. That's the point.
Right.
Okay. Well, good. What other questions you got for us?
The how to play like certain gods, kind of like Sun Wukong. In like multiple positions.
Oh yeah, he can go all 5. He can go.
well, yeah,
Someone can go all 5.
But see, the thing is, he doesn't excel though in any one that is very odd. Like I wouldn't say Sun Wukong was like amazing in jungle or amazing in mid. You know what I mean? Whereas we kind of ran into that. We ran into that problem with Mercury for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why people don't think he's, ban-worthy anymore, but he's still completely viable. I don't understand why people just stopped playing him as soon as his one got a little nerf.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, we're up to, 60+ gods now in the game, and I think it's going to be a natural progression. I don't necessarily think just because you don't see a god anymore that they've fallen off. You know what I mean? It's just that people are just gravitating towards one direction. There's so many gods, 60.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
You're just going to see some gods that you're not going to see very often anymore.
But, I mean, I hate to bring up other MOBAs, but with League of Legends having like 100+, and, and there's always a fan base for just about any of those characters.
Characters, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, I was talking with a coworker of mine who's big into League of Legends and like Dota 2, and I couldn't imagine that god pool per se to be that large. But I mean, if Hi-Rez is on the track they're going now, next year, I mean, we're going to be over that 100 mark without a doubt. At the end of next year, if they keep pumping them out like that, and from like a business perspective, I don't see why they wouldn't. I I don't know that we have to be that big. You know, but we'll get there. We're gonna get there anyway. Like we're gonna get there anyway. Just
that. That brings up something else. I was wondering: are they gonna add in new pantheons?
They keep on saying they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie. Something like even as close as Maya, maybe Aztec, or they could go as far out as like Voodoo or Slavic.
Yeah, I think their point is that they have so many gods just in these pantheons. Like, why? It just doesn't seem like it's going to be next year.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, I see how like Mayan and Norse is like really tiny, and they could expand on that, and even Chinese, but because of so many they have in Egyptian and the Roman and the Greece, it makes me want to feel that they're going to expand on the other ones that are smaller or add in new pantheons. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could. I'm still going to sit in the same boat and say that we don't need to be growing our gods any faster than what we are right now. If at this point we're going too fast, does that mean we need to go into other pantheons? Sure. I mean, I think that would be fun, but as long as we're not increasing that rate, you know, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? So
right, but I mean, besides, for instance, like Janus, I kind of feel like all of these gods that they're adding in are starting to all get a similar feel to another god or someone from another MOBA.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they released Janus, I was like, yes, they're actually gonna, you know, start to branch apart and, you know, get actual real creative stuff going on. And then I saw Rama and I was like, okay, this is getting a little better. And then Serket was pretty nice. And then, I don't know.
Then what? Nox happened.
Yeah. And yeah.
But then you had Sylvanas in there, and now you have, I know Oelix is kind of like Nidalee, but not really. Not really at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Janus is definitely like the pinnacle. Like, that's what you want to see them do, but you can't knock out a home run every single time.
Right. I mean, I get that, but it's just, I don't know.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to grab some more callers here, but thanks a lot for calling in.
All right. See ya.
See ya. All right, let's go ahead here. We are going to go ahead and grab some more emails as long as Mr. FG3000 approves of such a thing.
Whoa. I'll discuss it with the jury in the back.
All right, sounds good. Done. Let's see. It says, hi, I would like to say I love the show. Great job. I haven't recently finished all episodes from 1 to 36. I listened to your show.
Wow.
I listened to your show on the podcast of iTunes. Anyways, I would like to say, after playing a couple of games with Al Kwang, and I want to know where you think the new... Oh, okay. So the new Al Kwang is, so the Kukulkan. P.S. I think you should go jungle. So, what are your thoughts, I guess, on the rework that occurred a while back, I guess was his question, now that we've had some time to play with him?
Oh, this is not about Kukulkan? This is about...
It's about...
Which one are we talking about?
We're talking about Al Kwang, not Kukulkan. So, okay. Al Kwang, what are your thoughts on him?
The man.
This guy is saying, hey, he should go jungle, but what are your thoughts?
You know me, man. I'm going to say that he can go
everywhere.
Everywhere except for support.
That's funny.
I don't live by that code of ethics, Octane. Especially when it comes to assassins, which he basically is an assassin, just like he's Freya's an assassin in my eyes. So yeah, throw him everywhere except for support. Only Nija has that, and Fenrir.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see an issue with him in jungle. I mean, some people are very, very good with it, to be honest with you. But you know, I've seen him do very, very, very well with Al Kwang. I think it's either jungle or like dual lane with some hyper aggressive dual lanes that are going on. But either way, I
mean,
him
like Freya.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and a lot of people can get away with that. A lot of people are very good with Freya in jungle, and I think you can play, you know, this god the same. I haven't actually seen a lot of him though in Conquest. Have you?
No, I mean he's kind of like an arena killer, isn't he? Like he, for some reason,
yeah, he really is.
In almost all my arena games, and he's always getting like 20 kills, or he gets like no kills, but he's always like the man.
Maybe it's because he's banned out like constantly, like that. That base attack speed is absurd.
Yeah.
So I can see that.
And
for
he's
sure.
one of those gods. He's one of those gods that I always talk about, kind of the Kronos and the Freyas and the Ao Kuangs of the world. That you put him in a mode like Siege or Arena where you're guaranteed to get gold. Like you can't not get a lot of gold in Arena. Like you're just gonna get gold, and you're going to get your build online no matter what. Where in Conquest, you might not get your build online until it's too late. But in Arena and Siege, those hyper carry gods just like rule the day, and you just can't stop them.
Yeah, no, but good question. Appreciate you kind of writing in on that. I'm kind of going through some of these other questions here. Some are a little repetitive. I like this one here. This one, you know, the person said, just kind of give some background on them. They're an in-game photographer for Game On Smite magazine. So they take all the cool, like, in-game kind of really pictures and stuff. Actually. Yeah, very high def there. He said, you know, I'm just not very good at the game.
Hi-Rez, if you will.
Oh, he said, you know, he's not very good at the game. And he said kind of his question is, you know, I don't know how I'm supposed to build gods. I look at SmiteFire for builds and stuff, and I don't like asking people how you know, should I be building, you know, with items and stuff like that to study the game and stuff like that. I didn't know people still use SmiteFire, to be honest with you. SmiteFire was like a thing of like 2 years ago, to be honest with you. I didn't know that they were still involved in the scene. A site that I know that still does up-to-date builds is Tier Monster. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
I just went to SmiteFire, and we're on right now. Look at us.
Oh man!
I can see our faces on SmiteFire.
Oh,
right now.
SmiteFire. I'm sorry, but I literally didn't know that you guys were still keeping up to date with things. You guys, SmiteFire was huge back in the day. Like everybody went to SmiteFire. But, anyways, it's good to look at builds that people have recommended. But what I can really recommend is, I know on some of these build sites they have builds written by different pro players and stuff like that, and when they go ahead and do a god build, they're not just like, here's your items and here's your abilities, here it is. It's, here's a full write-up and like a 10-minute long read as to why this person is buying these different items, and that's what you need to look at when you're trying to learn the game. Why are you buying this item? Is it just because SmiteFire has it listed, or are you buying this item because iRaffer has said that on Thor, this is a really good item because of X, Y, and Z. He gets it at this point in the game versus not in this point in the game. You know, you need to find some more information about it. If you're going ahead and just grabbing builds with no explanation as to why to do them outside of someone recommended them, there's no reason to do that. You're not learning anything. You're not gaining anything out of it. So I always like to tell people, don't follow cookie cutter builds, to go ahead and build the god the way that you play them. But I think if you're going to try to look at some of these pre-built, you know, style build setups where you can get from SmiteFire, someone mentioned Smite Guru, you know, Tier Monster, then you need to go over there and read up on it. You know, take these big guides. You know, like Pon used to do a bunch of those back in the day, and it would be like a 10-minute read. But by the time you finish reading that, you went, I know why Pon is recommending this, why he's saying to get it at this point in the game, and this is why I should get it versus this item. What do you think, FG?
Totally agree. You nailed it. I like it.
Alrighty.
What I'll add is the fact that you can look at those gods for the core build, but then you need to know why are they core? Why am I buying it? And that's huge. So once you actually know why you're buying Jotun's Wrath on a certain god, then you can kind of expand out like, okay, now I understand why I buy cooldown reduction. Now I can use that to my advantage. Maybe I'll stack cooldown reduction, or maybe I'll do something else. Yeah. It expands your knowledge. You don't want to just... You're basically on auto buy if you're just looking at a build and just hitting it. Yeah, no, I think it's a great one. We'll fire through some last questions here, try to get these answered in the emails here. This person says Hades has the this is from Will. Hades has the highest win to loss ratio at this time. He was considered by most people to be the worst god in the game. Then Hi-Rez buffed him a bit, and everyone complained he was OP, so they nerfed the damage on his 3 by 50%, and that made him worse than he was before, when people said that he was the worst guy in the game. Do you think it makes sense that people think he doesn't need a buff? I'll let you take this one. Hades. Hades is like, man. That is like a legend in Smite, because like the
he's like a god. He's like a god or something, you know.
He's like a god or something. Like everyone basically unanimously. Wow, I can't even speak.
Unanimously
was like Hades is the worst god in the game. Then the next thing you know, Hi-Rez Bart shows a little Twitter message like, "Oh, by the way, highest win rate in Conquest. Eat that." I don't know, man. I think the nerf was needed for him. However, the nerf on his 3 was definitely needed. You couldn't get anywhere near the wave if the Hades was nearby. He would chunk off all your life and heal all of his own. That had to be done. And that's kind of the reason why Hades had such a high win rate, because the people that knew how to play Hades played Hades in solo and played him in mid, and they absolutely destroyed you. Like, a well-played Hades pre-nerf was so hard to do anything with. He'd have his lane, like, level 2 Hades would have his lane completely cleared and be attacking you. And what can you do when you're still trying to get your minions down? You know what I mean? So I don't think that Hades was like the worst god. He was just the worst god in competitive. And that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. Like, DM Brandon will say this god sucks because of such and such and such and such. That's in ranked, and that's in conquest, and that's in high level play. You're not going to use Ninja in a tournament for the most part. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. But in Conquest, you can destroy people with them. In Conquest and Casuals, this is a totally different animal. So don't let anyone tell you that a god is terrible. People were using Arachne, pre-Arachne back in the day and having good success with her. I don't know how, but they were.
Yeah, Hades, you know, I see Hades picked, you know, played a decent amount within, like Assault and Arena. And granted, Assault you're not really picking, but you kind of can re-roll and stuff like that. A decent amount in both of them, and doing fairly well. So I think Hades does not have a great place in Conquest right now. Conquest being kind of your staple game mode for Smite. And so I think that's why Hades kind of gets this bad name, you know, kind of what you talked about in your email there, Will. So, yeah, I mean, I can agree. I mean, he's not going to be a top pick in Conquest anytime soon, not unless we have a crazy meta. Okay. Yeah, not unless we have a crazy meta shift or anything like that, but that's all right. Not every god needs to be top picked. I mean, as we grow that god pool available out in the scene, it's just going to become harder and harder to have, you know, gods that are in like the top 2 in every position in Conquest. But you got to remember, like, you know, Conquest, you know, it's just one of multiple modes. So, someone says here.
Love it.
Well, this is a long one. We'll probably save this till next show. We'll take
TLDR.
That's okay, right. That's right. Last question here we'll take for today, and then we'll go ahead and round things out. It says, I've seen on Smite Reddit lately a lot of posts about Zeus needing a change. I played a few Conquest games today with him and was outpushed every single time. I know that they say that he is great for securing objectives, but I just don't see the benefit when there are so many other better choices. Does he need a buff? I think this is a mirror of the Hades conversation.
Yeah.
Zeus had his time in the meta early on in the game. Actually, was very highly picked. He was banned for the longest time. It made sense to ban
Zeus.
That's right. That's right. Over time, we have found that Zeus isn't a top pick anymore in Conquest. There are better mages. When you think of Zeus now, where would you put him? Mid?
Oh wow!
But like.
Mid, so trash.
No, you really can't. I mean,
he can't really push his lane. He's such a big target. If there's a Zeus in mid and you're a jungler, you're like, oh yes.
Exactly. Because Zeus doesn't have like a typical escape like a lot of other gods do. On top of that, you know, his clear is okay, but his push potential is not what is out there else available. And so, but where you see Zeus, like I play Assault and I see Zeus and he dominates in Assault. And you know, yeah. So you know, it comes back to the same question,
Siege,
folks. Like
Siege is another good one.
Yeah, like not every god needs to be top pick in Conquest, and the arena players are gonna love me here. Conquest isn't the only game mode. So when people see these things like and get upset about it, there are different gods that are better at different roles in different game modes. Plain and simple. It's always going to be that way. If anything, it's going to become even more prevalent as we start to move forward with more gods because of just the larger god pool. There's always better potential available for you. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
and Zeus Jungle.
That's right. So we didn't talk about a Wheelix. We didn't really talk about a Wheelix much tonight. Didn't really have time in there. We didn't even get to all of the emails. We still have some other emails in there, but it's been a long enough show, so we'll probably go ahead and round things out. Want to appreciate you guys.
Your voice is about to run itself out.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's like the tail end of being sick and like needing to cough every few minutes, and it's a disaster. I did like Smite Update on Thursday and was like dying. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, the live stream here, all 1,200 of you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. You didn't have to on your Sunday night, so we do thank you. Smite Talk's kind of been on a hiatus, and maybe we'll find a different time to do it. Like, we used to do it at 8 directly after Smite Update, but Smite Update hasn't been on Sundays anymore because Hi-Rez has had, their content going on. So we kind of bumped Smite Update to somewhere during the week after the art show. So maybe we do Smite Talk later on in the evening on Sundays. The powers that be will have to talk about it, and we'll figure it out and kind of go from there. But want to remind you guys that this show is available on iTunes. So outside of being live on Twitch, it's available on iTunes. We have a great following on iTunes. Go out to iTunes. It's also available on the Android store. Look up SmiteTalk and give us some 5-star reviews. 5-star matters, so please make sure that you guys go out there, give us a 5-star review. Increases our rating there to give us more viewership and bigger audience on iTunes. A lot of people listen to the show that are on the way to work or at the gym, or they're at work, can only listen to things, they can't watch anything, so check it out. But it's also available on YouTube. The YouTube information is directly below FG's portrait there. YouTube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. Go over there, click that subscribe button, and not only check out YouTube, but also, on YouTube, but not only Smite Talk, but also check out Smite Update. Is another show out there as well. So, FG, when you are not showing your beautiful face here on Smite Talk, where can people check out more of your content?
You can catch me in Okamar, riding my mount in circles, waiting for the cue to pop.
Oh, my word.
Or you could actually, I'm Alliance now. I switched this. So I'll actually in Stormwind. But anyway, if you really want to catch me out on youtube.com/fitnessgamer3000. Always. There's always going to be Smite there. Don't worry. Always be Smite.
Yeah, nice. If you guys are interested in following me, I'm going to put my information in chat now. Biggest places you can follow me are really Twitter and Twitch. And the reason I say that is, Twitch, I'm streaming multiple times a week. I play live viewer games, do a lot of giveaways on my own Twitch channel, which is always a lot of fun. A lot of, this past week we gave away some Razer hardware, but we also give away a bunch of gems as well. But then on top of that, like Twitter, social media, we talked about the value of social media earlier in the show. Twitter is huge. So follow me on Twitter. I'm always posting on Twitter about different things going on in the Smite community, when I'm streaming, when I'm doing giveaways, and I'll be using Twitter like crazy at SWC. So if you're going to SWC and you want to come hang out with us, want to find out where we are, you just want to come say hi. Say, hey, I like the game. Here's my favorite god. Hit me up on Twitter. Send me a message on Twitter. It's the best way to communicate at these events. I will put my information in chat. Twitter and also Twitch. It's Octane Pro SCII. Once again, Octane Pro SCII. We'd like to go ahead and special thanks to Hi-Rez Studios for allowing us to host Smite Talk on their channel, twitch.tv/SmiteGame. Make sure if you guys are looking to get a digital ticket for the Smite World Championship, you hit that subscribe button, hence why it is $24.99 and not your traditional $4.99. So make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, it'll take some time, but the codes and the other perks of subscribing for the Smite World Championship digital ticket will get to you. It just takes a few minutes, and it's on Twitch, so check your PMs there. For myself, from FG3000, we appreciate you guys coming out tonight. We'll see everybody next time. Stay tuned, everybody.
Later.